One of the scariest things for franchise fans is how the movie will end. How a film ends is, at times, more important than how it begins. It can make or break the future of a franchise on the big screen. Recently, we talked about a few things that we want to see in the upcoming Matrix movie. So today we're going to discuss 5 possible ways the Matrix 4 could end. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Number 5. The Oracle takes control. At the end of Matrix Revolutions, the Oracle and the Architect had a brief conversation.
You played a very dangerous game.
Change always is.
This dangerous game that the Oracle played was to break the Matrix cycle by changing certain aspects of the path of the One. The Oracle changed the love that the integral anomaly was supposed to have for humanity and focused it on a single person.
Your 5 predecessors were, by design, based on a similar predication, a contingent affirmation that was meant to create a profound attachment to the rest of your species, facilitating the function of the One. While the others experienced this in a very general way, your experience is far more specific, vis-a-vis love.
Trinity. This was possibly achieved after Neo ate the cookie that modified part of the code that he was carrying, which resulted in him falling in love with Trinity, ergo choosing to save her above humanity. The Oracle's plan to break the cycle was achieved after the truce between the machines and humans was reached, but her plan did not end there. As the Oracle pointed out, Neo couldn't know if she was there to help him or not.
It is a pickle, no doubt about it. Bad news is there's no way if you can really know whether I'm here to help you or not. So it's really up to you.
So what if the Oracle had something else planned? Matrix 4 may feature the continuation of the truce, but by the end, the Oracle's true plan is revealed. One that could involve total domination of the simulation and the outside world. After all, she influenced the people of Zion. Maybe she just needed to control the Matrix first, and then she would go after Machine City. Maybe the Oracle desired power ever since she arrived in the Matrix. Her being revealed as the ultimate villain of the franchise would be surprising to the audience, but not so much for the ones who have been analyzing her for some time. Possible vindication. Number 4. Neo sacrifices himself. Again. This is one of the fan unwanted theories that has been rolling around the internet for some time. The theory proposes that Matrix 4 will be a soft reboot in which Trinity and Neo will appear on screen, but will soon be replaced or upstaged. That they will be relegated to secondary roles, and some new and young protagonists will take their place. This has happened with other franchises like Star Wars and The Terminator, with poor results. This is a very bad idea that never works. But based on Lana Wachowski's previous work, we doubt she will use the bait and switch or expectation subversion techniques that is regrettably common in Hollywood and loathed by all fans. If Neo and Trinity returned, it is because their story has to be the focus of the film. Number 3. Sati is the successor. Even though the idea of Neo and Trinity being supporting characters is considered a bad one, this does not mean that there shouldn't be new characters that can move the story forward beyond the original cast. Sati was introduced in Matrix Revolutions, and she is destined to change the real world and the simulation.
Because the child is important. I can't tell you why, but I believe that one day the child will change both our world and your world forever.
We've previously talked about the importance of this little girl and how she could be a proper successor for Neo, the program that was born out of love that must become something more than a program or human. If this is the case, Neo and Trinity's story in Matrix 4 could conclude with Sati revealing herself as the true savior of humanity and machines. It is the long-awaited paradigm shift. This way Neo could still be part of the story, but as a mentor to Sati, taking up a position similar to Morpheus. Neo becomes the teacher of the new savior. This plot development can continue the story of the previous trilogy, and would give justification for the Oracle's sacrifice that allowed Sati to enter the Matrix. we would also see Neo grow from being the disciple to the master. Number 2. The truce is broken. Matrix 4 would begin as a continuation of the peace that was formed in Matrix Revolutions. Humans and machines living in harmony. Even the red pills reconnecting to the Matrix out of luxury. The division between Zion and the blue pills is broken, and a relatively peaceful coexistence with the machines exists. But something bad happens that would require Neo's return. Something that can cause the breaking of the truce and the beginnings of a new war. Perhaps Matrix 4 will conclude with the machines ordering the destruction of Zion again, opening the doors for Matrix 5 and beyond. Humans must fight for their survival again. This idea would be interesting because during this time in Zion, there must be machine and red pill sympathizers. There wouldn't be only 2 factions, but several, and the dynamics of the war would change completely. In Matrix 4, Neo and Trinity could be soldiers again, preparing to recruit new red pills to fight in this new war. This idea is one of the best ones we got, going back to the roots of the Matrix with returning characters and conflicts, paving the way for future pieces of content. And number 1, the end of the world. We know from Matrix Reloaded that the people of Zion depend on machines to survive, the purification of oxygen, controlled temperature, water, and food. We saw in Revolutions how close Smith came to infecting everyone in the simulation and the machines. With the machines close to destroying Zion, the end of the world was inches away from being realized. This led us to think that there could be a chance that at the end of Matrix 4, we will see the destruction of all life, artificial and natural. Perhaps Smith will return to finish the job, or another more powerful virus will appear. This will be the definitive end to the franchise, a dark ending to the real world and the Matrix, leaving the planet in ruin forever. The extinction has arrived. But do you agree? How do you think Matrix 4 will end? For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe, and thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.